Right, hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Warren's Team Talk. I hope you're all well this afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you are in the world. Anyway, I hope you're all okay and having a great time. Anyway, so today I'm going to do my review of the FA Cup final that took place Saturday just gone. Yeah, I know it's quite late and I'm sorry about that. But it's important I do it because I've done every other round so far this season and I thought it'd been really amiss of me not to do it. So here we go. Here it is. And yeah, we're going to get into it now and look at what happened and look at all the ins and outs and ups and downs and lefts and rounds and lefts and rights and ins and outs and all the rest of it. Anyway, so let's get on with it. So before we get started, just mind these great YouTube channels out there, and just to let you know about it, and if you haven't already checked them out, please go and check them out because they're fantastic. We got Arsenal Alex, the Aussie Gooner, Diesel Arsenal, Del Boy Gunner TV, Arsenal, The History and More, Gracie-Mae, NorthsideLdn, SFeatleyTV, and last but not least, the one and the only Walsh. So here we go. We got some people in the chat already. Craig Malloy says, "We're a big up. Arteta must resign. We haven't improved. No trophies, no top four." Exactly, mate. And the whole thing's is a shambles. Absolute shambles. What the hell were they playing at? Giving that clown a new contract even before the season had finished. Which to me makes me think that the target for him was top six, and that's all they were really interested in. Which, you know, we finished fifth under Unai Emery and he got sacked. So what's the difference? What is the difference? I'll tell you what the difference was. Unai Emery was a far superior coach and he was in danger of getting this club into the Champions League, which I'm convinced that this clown of an owner does not want us to do. I don't think he wants us going in the Champions League. So that was why they sacked him, because they knew that if they kept him on, he would have done it. And this is why this clown is being allowed to stay, because he is not going to do it. He will never, ever get this club in the Champions League. No a chance. Dan Evans says, "We're on our way. We're on our way to the Football League. We're on our way." Fair play to you, man. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. It's fantastic news. Well done. And Dan Evans says, "Hello. Hello, Warren." Yeah, hi to you, mate, as well. And congratulations. I'm really happy. It's fantastic news. Arsenal are a cash cow to the Cronkies. That's all they're interested in. And they're not interested in seeing this club be successful. And the writing was on the wall when he bought into the club. He came out and he said it. He was upfront about it. He said, "Listen, I didn't buy Arsenal Football Club to win trophies." So my question would have been to him, well, why did you buy it then? And they shouldn't have sold it to him. They shouldn't. Whoever sold it to him, they need to hold their head in shame. They really do. Dan Evans said it was mental at the game. We had those sheets that everyone held up to create a picture, and then 10,352 people at the game. Best game of my life. I'm sure it was, mate. It must have been absolutely wild. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy for you. Anyway, let's move on and let's get into the show. So, right, this is the situation before. What we're going to talk about now is the situation before the Saturday just gone. So, in the run-up to the game, what happened. So, the road to Wembley for what the Warren's Team Talk journey to the final. We're going to go through that now, and you're going to see the map there showing all the different places where the Warren's Team Talk bus, that famous old vehicle that's been in and out of my shows since I've been doing this YouTube thing. It had the dust dusted off it, and it went around the country, working its way here, there, and everywhere. So the first leg was on the 7th of November 2021. 7th of November 2021, when it went up to Bolton, and we watched Bolton Wanderers take on Stockport County. The game ended in a 2-2 draw, and then 10 days later there was a replay which happened at Stockport County's ground, and I'm sure Dan Evans remembers this game very well because it was an absolute corker of a game. Stockport County knocked Bolton Wanderers out 5-3 after extra time to progress to the second round, and so the bus went on its way again over to Rotherham. And when we were there, we watched Rotherham United take on Stockport County. Rotherham won the game by 1-0 in very, very controversial circumstances. Stockport County had a very good goal disallowed, in my opinion. I couldn't see what was wrong with it, but I'm not a professional referee, so there you go. And then the fourth leg after that, Rotherham took on the Warren's Team Talk banner, and they travelled down to London to take on Queen's Park Rangers in Shepherd's Bush. And the game ended in a 1-1 draw after extra time, so it went to a penalty shootout. And QPR won by 8-7. And listen, before the game, I remember talking about this. QPR have had a terrible record in the FA Cup, and in particular the third round. They hardly ever win in the third round. They always end up getting beat, and they've got a terrible record. I think it's the worst in the country in the third round. Anyway, but this time they won. And then the fifth leg saw us get back on the bus, and we went up to Peterborough. And we watched Peterborough United take on the Queen's Park Rangers. And Peterborough United dispatched of QPR by 2-0. And that was on the 5th of February. And then a few weeks later, on the 1st of March, in leg 6 of our journey, we stayed in Peterborough, and we went to see Peterborough take on Manchester City. And unsurprisingly, Manchester City accounted for Peterborough United by 2-0 at Peterborough's ground. And so then in the 7th leg, we travelled down to Southampton on the south coast in the Warren's Team Talk bus. And we watched Southampton try their luck against Manchester City. And to be quite honest, Southampton got dismantled by Manchester City by 4-1. Although, to be fair, Manchester City didn't have things all their own way, particularly in the first half. Southampton, I think, at least tried to make a bit of a game of it, but City were far too strong for them in the end and ran out comfortable 4-1 winners. And then in the 8th round, the FA Cup semi-final, Liverpool took on Manchester City at Wembley in the semi-final, a game where Liverpool raced to a 3-goal lead before Manchester City pulled it back to 3-2. But yeah, it was a great game, and Liverpool were deserved victors, in my opinion. And then, obviously, Saturday just gone, we had the final, and we'll talk about that in a little while. So here we go. Before the actual final took place on Saturday, Liverpool were holding the Warren's Team Talk banner. And so let's have a look at Liverpool's FA Cup history. So they've won the FA Cup on 7 occasions, and they've been runners-up on 7 occasions as well up until this Saturday. And their complete record in the FA Cup, they've played 443 games. They've won 236 of them, drawn 95, lost 112, scored 738 goals, conceded 424, with a goal difference of 314, and they would have 803 points. So let's get back into this chat. Right, okay, here we go. Arteta will never, ever manage another big club after Arsenal. Well, yeah, quite. I can't see that happening either, to be quite frank. No one would touch him with the barge pole. Because if you notice, whenever a big job becomes available, he never gets... you never see him being put in the frame for it. You never see him getting linked to it. Although there was a rumour flying around that PSG were thinking about trying to get poach him off Arsenal. God, I wish they would. I really do. But the problem is, Craig, if he gets sacked or if he goes to another club, it's not going to solve the problem. It's not. And you might be a bit surprised to hear me say that, but it's true, because the big problem at this club is the owner. Right? He is the one that appointed Arteta. He is the one that has created this culture at the club, and he's the one that dictates how the club operates in terms of the way its business culture and stuff like that. You know, so I can guarantee you, if Arteta did go, whether he was sacked or he went to another club or whatever, what would happen is they would appoint someone in a similar mould, someone who wasn't going to cause Stanley and Josh problems. And I've got a pretty good idea who would be the front runner to get the job, and that would be Per Mertesacker. Dan says what a game it was, and some stupid mistakes. Sounds like one of my videos, mate. But we managed to do it. Yeah, it's great. I'm really, really happy for you, mate. I think your bus is cursed. I think it is too, buddy. And apparently Saliba wasn't ready for Arsenal, but Tavares and Lokonga are. Yeah, I saw you put that comment in someone else's chat recently as well. And yeah, it's an absolute joke, isn't it? It really is. He's absolutely clueless, this manager. And here he is, the Joker himself, Taib Hussain. Hi all, he says. Hi Taib, how you doing, sir? Craig Malloy, Taib, big up. The Chuckle brothers are reunited. Arteta is ruining the squad. Yes, he is. And hi, Craig, he says. So, yeah, let's get back into this. So, Ian Callaghan has the most appearances in the FA Cup for Liverpool. He's played for the club on 79 occasions. Liverpool's leading goal scorer is Ian Rush in the FA Cup. He scored 39 goals from 61 games. And Liverpool's first ever game in the FA Cup was on the 15th of October, 1892, when they defeated Nantwich 4-0 in a first-round qualifying match. So there he is himself, is Ian Callaghan, back in the day. And he's the guy who's made the most appearances for Liverpool in the FA Cup. He's made 79 appearances for the club in the FA Cup. And Ian Rush is Liverpool's leading goal scorer. He scored 39 goals from 61 games. Liverpool's as I said, Liverpool's record victory is 9-0 in the second qualifying round on the 29th of October, 1892, when they beat Newton 9-0. Liverpool's record defeat, on the other hand, was against Bolton Wanderers on the 26th of January, 1946, when they lost 5-0. So that must have been a bit horrific for the Liverpool fans. Now, Liverpool's magnificent 7 FA Cup wins. They won the FA Cup in the first time in 1964-65 season. Then they won it in 1973-74, 1985-86, 88-89, 1991-92, 2000-2001, and the 2005-2006 season. And Craig says, Taib, to me, to you. Okay. Warren, has football lost its magic? I think it has. Do you want to elaborate on that a bit, mate? Because I think I'd probably agree with you, because I think the standard of it has fallen dramatically. I really do. Taib says, laugh out loud, Craig. And we've got Clem in the chat. Hi, Clem. How you doing? All right, Warren, mate. Yeah, I'm good, buddy. I hope you're okay. I love your little logo, by the way. I think that's wild. Anyway, so let's move on. So, in 1965, Liverpool won their first FA Cup. They defeated Leeds United by 2-1 after extra time. The goal scorers that day were Roger Hunt. He scored in the 93rd minute to give Liverpool 1-0 lead. And this was all in extra time, because it was 0-0 at full time and Liverpool won 2-1 after extra time. Billy Bremner scored in the 100th minute to equalise for Leeds. And then Ian St John popped up with just a couple of minutes remaining of the extra time to seal a 2-1 win for Liverpool. So that was their first ever FA Cup win. Then in 1974, Liverpool won their second FA Cup when they defeated Newcastle United by 3-0. And the goals that day came from 2 from Kevin Keegan in the 57th and 84th minutes. And then Steve Highway was scored in the 74th minute to give Liverpool a comfortable 3-0 win. And then in 1986, Liverpool beat Everton by 3-1. And I think this game was the game where Liverpool secured their first ever domestic cup double. And yeah, they beat Everton by 3-1. And I was at that game, funnily enough. I managed to get tickets from a colleague of mine that I used to work with at NatWest. She used to work for West Ham United in her spare time in the box office, and she got me and a couple of my mates tickets for the final. Because I don't know if you guys are aware, but for the FA Cup final, the FA send out a batch of tickets to every club in the country, or they certainly did do. And she offered me and my mates a couple of tickets, some tickets to go to the game. So I gladly accepted them. We were in the Liverpool end, and it was a great day. I really enjoyed it. And it was good. Yeah, it was a good game. Liverpool won by 3-1. Gary Lineker gave Everton the lead. I remember I was supporting Everton that day because I didn't want Liverpool to win the double, because it was something that we had over them, because we'd done it, Arsenal that is, but they hadn't. So yeah, but Gary Lineker scored for Everton. And then Ian Rush equalised in the 56th minute. Craig Johnston put Liverpool 2-1 up. You can see Craig Johnston there just above, see his head just above the Liverpool crest. And then Ian Rush scored a second one in the 83rd minute to make it but 3-1 for Liverpool. Then the 1989 final saw Liverpool beat Everton by 3-2. And this was the year of the Hillsborough disaster, hence why you can see there the Liverpool captain wearing a black armband. Liverpool took the lead Liverpool took the lead in the 4th minute, and then Steve McCall equalised in the last minute of the game to make it 1-1. And then Ian Rush put Everton 2-1 up in the 95th minute in extra time. Steve McCall again scored for Everton in the 102nd minute to make it 2-2. And then Ian Rush popped up with the winner 2 minutes later in extra time to make it Liverpool 3, Everton 2. And that was Liverpool's 4th FA Cup. The 5th one was in 1992 when Liverpool took on Sunderland, and Liverpool won comfortably by 2-0. Goals that day came from Michael Thomas, ex-Arsenal player, the guy who, as we all know, scored the dramatic goal at Anfield to bring the title to Arsenal for the first time in 18 years, and he'll always be a legend in my book. Absolute top draw player for the Gunners. And then Ian Rush added a second one in the 68th minute to make it Liverpool 2, Sunderland 0, and Liverpool won their 5th FA Cup. Then in 2001, dear oh dear, this is one of my worst ever FA Cup moments. Liverpool defeated Arsenal by 2-1. Arsenal took the lead in the 72nd minute, and then in the 83rd minute and the 88th minute, Michael Owen scored 2 goals for Liverpool to give Liverpool what, in my opinion, was a really undeserved victory. Before Owen scored that goal, I mean, to be quite honest, it would have been out of sight. It would be it wouldn't have been any exaggeration to say that Arsenal could have won that game by 10-0, because Arsenal was so dominant. They were creating chance after chance after chance, and they just couldn't finish. We did have a shot cleared off the line, and to this day, I still say it was a handball, but it wasn't given. And yeah, it was just ridiculous. I've never seen a more one-sided cup final in my life. It was crazy, absolutely crazy, how we didn't win that game, and we should have absolutely battered Liverpool that day. But we didn't. We didn't take our chances, and Liverpool punished us for it. So there you go. And then that was Liverpool's 6th FA Cup triumph. And then their 7th one came in 2006 when Liverpool and West Ham fought out a dramatic 3-3 draw. And then Liverpool won on penalties by 3-1 in the penalty shootout. West Ham took the lead in the 21st minute when Jamie Carragher scored an own goal. West Ham then went 2-0 up on the 28th minute when Dean Ashton put them 2-0 up. And then Gabriel Cisse pulled one back for Liverpool in the 32nd minute to make it 2-1. And then in the 54th minute, Steven Gerrard equalised for Liverpool in the 54th minute. And then Konchesky put West Ham back in front to make it in the 64th minute, and make it 3-2 for West Ham. And then in added on time at the end of the game, Steven Gerrard scored an equaliser for Liverpool to make it 3-3 and send the game into extra time. There was no further scoring in extra time, so the game went to a penalty shootout. And in that penalty shootout, Liverpool won by 3-1. So there you go. That was Liverpool's 7th FA Cup win. So Liverpool been runners-up on 7 occasions as well. In 1913-14, they lost by 1-0 to Burnley. And then in 1950, they lost 2-0 to Arsenal. And then in 1971, they lost again to Arsenal 2-1 after extra time. And thanks to goals from Eddie Kelly and the infamous Charlie George, in my opinion, one of the greatest goals ever to be scored in a cup final. And the image of Charlie George laying on his back on the Wembley pitch is an iconic image. It really is. And this game was also quite famous because it marked the game where Eddie Kelly was the first substitute ever to score in an FA Cup final, which you should know, of course, if you watched my FA Cup Day marathon and you watched the quiz between Jez and Kenny Ken, you remember that was one of the questions I asked them. So, yeah, big up to Kenny and Jez because that quiz was epic. I absolutely loved it. And then in the 1977 final, Liverpool were going for the treble and they lost by 2-1 to Manchester United. And then in 1988, they lost 1-0 to Wimbledon in one of the greatest upsets ever in the FA Cup final. When Laurie Sanchez, I think it was, scored the winning goal. And Dave Besant saved a penalty from John Aldridge as well. Then in 1996, they lost 1-0 to Manchester United in the FA Cup final. And that was an awful game. And I think I remember Eric Cantona scored the winning goal that day. And then in 2012, they lost by 2-1 to Chelsea. So, yeah, there you go. So, Taib has come in with a comment. Ron, it doesn't feel the same. The excitement, the nervousness for games, etc. You know what I mean, Ron, laugh out loud. Yeah, I do, mate. And that's all down to Kroenke, my friend. It really is. Because he's the one that appointed this fucking dickhead of a manager. So, Delboy says, hi, Ron. Hello, all in the chat. Hi, Delboy. How you doing, fella? I hope you're all right, mate. And Craig Malloy says, Delboy, what's the bleeding crack, fella? Big up. Yeah, and those who haven't watched it yet, make sure you go and check out Delboy's call-in show after the Newcastle game the other night. That was absolutely epic. It was epic. So make sure you go check it out. Put a like on his video and put a comment in because it's wild. It really is. And on Friday, I think we're doing a show on Delboy's channel. So I think we're going to be talking about the 1996-97 season, I think, which I think was Arsene Wenger's first full season in No, it was when he joined. It was when Arsene Wenger joined the club. Yeah, so that will be interesting, I'm sure. But yeah, keep your eyes open for that because that will be pretty good. So Liverpool's season so far. Currently, they're sat second in the league. Before they've played 37 games, but up and before the cup final on Saturday, They played 36 games and they had 86 points. And Chelsea were in third. They played 36 games and had 70 points. And they entered the FA Cup in the third round proper. And on the 9th of January, in the third round, they entertained Shrewsbury Town at home, a game which they won by 4-1. And then on the 6th of February, in the fourth round, they entertained Cardiff City at home, and they won by 3-1. And then on the 2nd of March, in the fifth round, they played Norwich at home, and they won by 2-1. And then on the 20th of March, in the sixth round, they went to Nottingham Forest and they won by 1-0. And then on the 16th of April, in the semi-final, they played Manchester City at Wembley and they won that game by 3-2. And all that left now was the final on Saturday, which we'll be talking about in a little while. So let's have a look at Chelsea's FA Cup history. So Chelsea have won the FA Cup on 8 occasions and have been runners-up 7 times. Chelsea have appeared in 4 of the last final. Up until Saturday, they'd appeared in 4 of the last 5 finals, and they'd been runners-up in 3 of them. Chelsea's record victory in the FA Cup was on the 11th of January 1908 when they defeated Worksop Town by 9-1. And their record defeat in the FA Cup was on the 5th of February 1913 when they lost 6-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. And here we see like Frankie Lampard, and he's Chelsea's record goal scorer in the FA Cup. He scored 26 goals from 58 games. And looks like he's got a nice bottle of Carlsberg there as well. And Peter Osgood has scored more goals for Chelsea in a single season than any other Chelsea player. He scored 8 goals in the 1969-70 season. And George Hillsden scored the most goals in an FA Cup match for Chelsea. He scored 6 goals against Worksop Town in the first round on the 11th of January 1908. And we've got a few chats in here. And Delboy is saying hello to Craig. And Gracie-Mae's here. Hi, Gracie. How are you? I'm looking forward to our chat in about an hour and 45 minutes, I guess. 6:30. Yeah, everyone, Gracie's coming on my channel at 6:30, and we're going to be talking about the FA Cup. So that will be very, very interesting, and whatever else takes our fancy, I guess. So I'm really looking forward to that. And Gracie says that she's good and looking forward to it. Yeah, mate, so am I. I really am, and I hope you're well. I saw that chat that you did with Fraud. What's his name? Fraud or whatever his name is. Dear me. Oh, dear. That's all I'm going to say about it. Yeah, he was starting to wind me up, to be quite honest. Craig says, hi, Gracie. So let's carry on. So Chelsea's FA Cup wins. Like I said, they've won it on 8 occasions. The first time they won it was in 1970 when they beat Leeds United 2-1 after a replay. I think the replay took place at Old Trafford in Manchester. The first game at Wembley ended in a 2-2 draw, and it was a very bruising encounter as far as I've been told. Obviously, I was only 3 years old, so I wasn't really aware of it at the time, to be honest. Then in 1997, Chelsea won their second FA Cup when they defeated Middlesbrough by 2-0 at Wembley. And that day was one of the fastest goals ever to be scored in a FA Cup final, I believe, when Roberto Di Matteo scored. I think it was after about 30 odd seconds or something. And it was a goal as well, if I remember right. I think he slapped it in from just outside the box, and it went like a rocket. So Middlesbrough sort of never really recovered after that, and Chelsea won the game fairly comfortably, if I remember rightly. Then in the year 2000, Chelsea beat Aston Villa by 1-0. And then in 2007, again, they won by 1-0, and this time it was against Manchester United. And then in 2009, Chelsea played Everton. That time they won by 2-1. And then in 2010, Chelsea played Portsmouth and won by 1-0. And then in 2012, Chelsea played Liverpool, and Chelsea won by 2-1. And then in 2018, they defeated Manchester United by 1-0 to win their 8th FA Cup. Joanne Smith's in the chat, and she says, "Hello, Warren, my lovelies. How are you, Joanne? I hope you're well." Gracie said, "I can't go for too long. I've got a lot of revision to be doing, but I look forward to it." Don't worry, Gracie. I'll make sure that I only keep you for half an hour max, all right? And it will just be interesting to get your insight into the FA Cup. I promise you, I won't keep you long, honestly. Don't worry. And Gracie says, "Hi, Craig." And I hope your exams are going well. And that's why I'm so grateful that you're coming on, because it's I know it's a very busy time for you at the moment. Anyway, so Chelsea have been runners-up in the FA Cup on 7 occasions. The first one was in 1915 when they lost 3-0 to Sheffield United. And then in 1967, they lost 2-1 to Tottenham Hotspur. 1994, they lost 4-0 to Manchester United. 2002, they lost 2-0 to Arsenal. And then they also lost to Arsenal in 2017 by 2-1. And then again, most recently in 2020, they lost 2-1 to Arsenal again. And then the following year, they lost to Leicester by 1-0. So if they, don't worry about that. I'll talk about that another time. So Chelsea's FA Cup records. The record appearances in the FA Cup for Chelsea is held by Ron Harris. He's appeared for Chelsea on 64 occasions between 1961 and 1980. Their record FA Cup goal scorer, as we heard earlier, was Frank Lampard. He scored 26 goals between 2001 and 2014. Their record FA Cup victory was 9-1 against Worksop Town on the 11th of January 1908. Their record amount of goals scored, FA Cup goals scored in the season, is 8 by Peter Osgood in the 1969-70 season. Their record FA Cup attendance was 77,952 v Swindon Town on the 13th of March 1911. And the most goals scored in a single FA Cup match for Chelsea was George Hillsden, who scored 6 in the first round on the 11th of January 1908. Again, that was against Worksop Town. And then the most FA Cup final goals scored by a player was by Didier Drogba, who scored 4 between 2004 and 2012. Joanne says, I'm good. I've been out buying plants. Good for you. I look forward to seeing the photos of you planting those in your garden. And Gracie says, sounds good. Yeah, it does sound good, mate, doesn't it? Right, so Chelsea season so far. Currently, they're sat third in the FA Premier League. As of the 13th of May, they played 36 games and had 70 points. 4 points are clear at that stage of Arsenal, who was sat fourth at that point. And they were 5 points clear of fifth place Chelsea. Tottenham. So, yeah, I think they're pretty much secure now in third place as well, if I remember rightly. Now, Chelsea, obviously, because they're a Premier League club, they entered the FA Cup in the third round this season. On the 8th of January, they entertained Chesterfield at home and won by 5-1. And then on the 5th of February, they had a really difficult game against Plymouth Argyle when they won by 2-1 after extra time at home at Stamford Bridge. And then on the 2nd of March, they travelled away to Luton Town. And this was the first game after it was announced that Roman Abramovich was going to sell the club after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And Chelsea won that game by 3-2, but it was a very, very difficult day for them. And they fell behind a couple of times in that game, but they eventually won through by 3-2. Then on the 19th of March, Chelsea travelled away to Middlesbrough and won by 2-0 in the northeast. And then in the next round, they faced Crystal Palace, London rivals, of course, by 2-0 at Wembley Stadium. And then, obviously, this Saturday, they took on Liverpool in the final, which we'll be talking about in a little while, as I keep telling you. And then Liverpool and Chelsea. So their overall head-to-head record in all competitions, Liverpool have won 83 games. There's been 43 draws, and Chelsea have won 65. In the FA Cup, it's a completely different story, though. Liverpool have won 4 games. There have been no draws, and Chelsea have won 7. And Liverpool have played each other twice in the Premier League this season and once in the League Cup up until the final on Saturday, just gone. On the 28th of August at Anfield, Liverpool and Chelsea fought out a 2-2 draw. And then on the 2nd of January at Stamford Bridge, again, Liverpool and Chelsea fought out a 2-2 draw. And then on the 27th of February this year, Liverpool and Chelsea met each other again at Wembley Stadium in the League Cup in a game that ended 0-0, and Liverpool won by 11-10 on penalties. So that's their record so far this season. They played each other 3 times, and there's been 3 draws, I'd say, but one that was won on penalties. So the previous meetings between the two clubs in cup finals, earlier this season, Liverpool and Chelsea met each other in the Football League Cup final, and the game ended, as I said, in a 0-0 draw, and Liverpool won by 11-10 in a penalty shootout. And then in the FA Cup final of 2012, Chelsea won by 2-1. And in that game, Ramirez scored the first goal for Chelsea in the 11th minute Didier Drogba made it 2-0 in the 52nd minute, and then Andy Carroll pulled one back in the 64th minute to make it Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. So the betting odds for this game, Liverpool were quoted as evens for the game. Chelsea were 13-5, and the draw was priced at 5-2. So my prediction for the game was that I thought Liverpool would win by 2-1. And so here we go. We're into the final now. So this was Liverpool's starting lineup and formation. They went with a 4-3-3. And during the game, they made a number of substitutions. Firmino came on for Diaz in extra time in the 98th minute. And then Jota came on for Mo Salah in the 33rd minute. And Naby Keita was substituted for James Milner in the 74th minute. Then Virgil van Dijk came off in the 90th minute and was replaced by Matip. And then Andy Robertson was replaced by Tsimikas in the 111th minute. And the Chelsea lineup and formation was, as you see it there, it was a 4-3-4-2-1 formation. And then during the course of the game, Azpilicueta came on for Chalobah in the 105th minute. Kante came on for Kovacic in the 66th minute. And Ziyech came on in the 85th minute for Lukaku. And then Loftus-Cheek came on in the 105th minute. Ross Barkley. No, sorry, hold on. What am I saying? Sorry. Christian Pulisic was substituted and replaced by Loftus-Cheek in the 105th minute. And then Barkley came on for him in the last minute of extra time. And I remember when I was doing the watch-along for this show, I said that I thought Barkley had been brought on for the penalty shootouts, and he did take a penalty. So that's probably what the thinking was. So the match stats for this game, Liverpool had 10 shots, Chelsea had 17. Liverpool had 2 shots on target, and so did Chelsea. Liverpool had 47% possession. Chelsea had 53%. Liverpool made 553 passes, and Chelsea made 613. Liverpool had 81% pass accuracy, and Chelsea had 82%. So yeah, it was a very, very tight game and very, very even, and that's sort of borne out really by the stats. I'm a bit surprised to see that Chelsea had more efforts on goal, though. I'm a bit shocked by that. I thought it was the other way round, but there you go. So let's have a look at the chat. Let's see what's going on. Gracie says sounds good. And Noah Nick Wiley, remember Petr Cech save on Andy Carroll in 2012. That save was out of this world 10 years ago, pal. Yeah, I know, blimey, it's unbelievable, isn't it? It really is. So the game itself, it ended 0-0 after 90 minutes, and it was still 0-0 after extra time. And then there was a penalty shootout. And the first penalty, Alonso stepped up and he scored to make it 1-0 to Chelsea. Then Milner stepped up for Liverpool and he made it 1-1. and then Azpilicueta missed his penalty for Chelsea, so it stayed at 1-1. And then Alcantara stepped up for Liverpool and scored, made it 2-1. And then James stepped up for Chelsea, made it 2-2. And then Firmino stepped up for Liverpool, scored, made it 3-2. And then Barkley stepped up for Chelsea and made it 3-3. And then Alexander-Arnold, he converted his penalty, made it 4-3. And then Jorginho came and he had a go, and he made it 4-4 for Chelsea. And then Mane, he stepped up and he missed his penalty, and then so the score stayed at 4-4. And then Ziyech, he put Chelsea 5-4 up in the penalty shootout. And then Jota stepped up for Liverpool, and he equalised from the spot to make it 5-5. And then the decisive penalty of the shootout, the sudden death part of the shootout, Mason Mount, he missed, and which meant the score stayed at 5-5. And Tsimikas stepped up, and he knew that if he scored, he would win the FA Cup for Liverpool, and that's what he did. He scored, which made it 6-5 to Liverpool in the penalty shootout, and Liverpool won the penalty shootout and the FA Cup by winning the penalty shootout 6-5. And personally, I think Liverpool deserved to win the match. To be quite frank, it was a very tight and evenly contested match, but I think Liverpool just about edged it, to be frank. So there you go. The FA Cup winner was Liverpool, a deserved victory, in my opinion. And Liverpool obviously will be seen as FA Cup holders next season. They will also go into the new season as the Warrens Team Talk FA Cup banner holder. So fair play to them, congratulations to them, and their supporters must be absolutely delighted, and I'm sure they had a great day out in London at Wembley Stadium. So there you go. And yeah, I just want to remind you about the Gooner Claude Trust as well. There's a link in the video description for the Gooner Claude Trust, and you can click on that and it will tell you all about the work of the Gooner Claude Trust. And they basically give seats. Well, they have seats in the best part of the ground at the Emirates Stadium, and it gives kids who are football fans the opportunity to go to a match at the Emirates Stadium and have a great day out. So yeah, it's a great thing that they're doing for disadvantaged kids. So yeah, please try and show them some love and support if you can. That would be absolutely fantastic. And that's the end of my match review for the Liverpool-Chelsea game. I hope you all enjoyed that, and please don't forget to come and join Gracie-Mae and myself in about another hour and 20 minutes, and we'll be having a chat about the FA Cup on my channel. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you all then. Thanks very much for tuning in. Thank you for all your comments, and please don't forget to put a like on the video. And if you're watching this on playback, please don't forget to tell me what you thought about the final. Tell me what you thought about the penalty shootout. Tell me what you thought about the FA Cup in general this season, and what can be done to bring it back to its former glory, because in days gone by it was the highlight of the of the season, the FA Cup final, and now it's shoved in. It's not even the last game in the football calendar, which I find absolutely disgusting, to be quite honest. So tell me about that as well, and any other stories or memories you've got about the FA Cup, anything like that. That would be fantastic. So anyway, Dave says, Warren, when's your new ghost story streams coming? Laugh out loud. On Diesel and I, it's not ghost stories, by the way. We're doing, on Saturday, we're going to do a stream about, I'm going on Diesel's channel, I should say. I'm going on Diesel's channel on Saturday to talk about Bigfoot. So, that will be interesting. It's a very interesting and very weird case, that one. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, come and check it out. I think, and I'm not 100% sure what time it's going to be, but probably in the evening. But I'm not sure yet. Anyway, thanks very much everyone for tuning in. Please enjoy the rest of your day and your evening, and I hope you enjoy the Europa League final tonight. And come on, the Frankfurt. That's all I'm going to say about that. Joanne says, do you follow Ghost of Britain? I'm not sure what that is, Joanne, to be quite frank. Ghosts of Britain are in Norfolk on a live tonight. Okay. How can people watch that if they want to watch it, Joanne? So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, people. It's been really great chatting to you this afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please take care. Have a great rest of your day, like I said. And I look forward to seeing you all again really, really soon. And take care. And I'll be back on again, like I say, at 6:30 with Gracie-Mae. And I'm really looking forward to that. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. And I look forward to seeing you all again really, really soon. Take care. Bye for now.